Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Marc Márquez arrives at Motegi with the chance to clinch the 2025 title this weekend, but the Lenovo Ducati rider downplayed the drama. After Misano and a positive test, Márquez says the team will tackle Sprint and Grand Prix sessions step by step, the same method that has delivered his dominant season, while Pecco Bagnaia hopes track tweaks from Misano can restore confidence and pace. Jack Miller says he's thrilled to be back at Motegi for the Japanese Grand Prix, the circuit where he scored his last MotoGP victory, and arrives relieved and excited after a busy run of events with Yamaha. The Australian will race at a track he loves, surrounded by passionate Japanese fans and amid the transition to his new ride for 2026. Alex Marquez credits Nadia Padovani and Gresini Racing with rescuing his MotoGP future when options dried up in 2023. Once facing the prospect of stepping away from the Premier class, the younger Marquez says Padovani's personal bet gave him a new lease of life, and ultimately paved the way to the runner-up fight he's having in 2025. The Japanese Grand Prix at Motegi, 26 to 28 September, kicks off MotoGP's Asian Swing, a stretch known for unpredictability and surprise podiums. But while Yamaha arrives at its home race full of pride and pressure, the factory is already speaking openly about the future. With a new V4 engine project pointing to 2026, the Iwata manufacturer finds itself balancing short-term results with long-term transformation. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Marquez was intent on defusing the match point narrative, stressing routine over spectacle. Rather than get drawn into championship talk, he emphasized process, work from Friday, aim for sprint competitiveness, then target the GP. We're approaching both races as we have been doing so far. That steady approach, focusing on session-by-session performance, is a familiar tactic for champions trying to avoid costly emotion-driven mistakes. With the mathematics clear, 3 more points than brother Alex across the weekend would be enough. Marquez insisted the objective is the same: be competitive and manage risk. He acknowledged Motegi suits Ducati but kept a measured tone. He welcomed the unique Japanese atmosphere and reminded everyone the plan is methodical: FP work first, then sprint, then GP. The balance Marquez seeks, aggression when needed, restraint when required, underpins his season and explains how he converts superiority into titles rather than flash results. Marquez set out a simple tactical chart: use Friday to build pace, prioritize sprint setup, then refine for the longer race. That pragmatic sequencing reduces overnight gamble and preserves the bike and tires for Sunday. With tire life and race management proving decisive this year, that sequencing can be the difference between clinching a title early and leaving it to later rounds. Pecco Bagnaia, still searching for the top form of past years, traveled to Motegi carrying the fruits of Misano testing. He said the team will replicate some test solutions here to try to restore confidence on corner entry and traction. We're working to have a solid weekend and get closer to the top group. For Bagnaia, the objective is pragmatic: consolidate small gains, rebuild feeling lap by lap, and avoid headline-seeking setup roulette that risks further harm to confidence. Motegi historically suits Ducati and has been fertile ground for the brand in recent seasons. That provides Marquez a favorable backdrop for a potential title moment, while offering Bagnaia a fresh test bed for the tweaks tried at Misano. Home of Honda but recently a Ducati stronghold, Motegi offers high-speed sections and heavy braking that reward mechanical stability and tire management, areas where Marquez's race craft has shown all year. Marc Márquez's Motegi message was simple: approach, execute, repeat. By framing the weekend as a familiar sequence rather than a climactic finale, he aims to keep focus sharp and risks contained. For Bagnaia, the weekend is about turning measured test gains into consistent race pace. Whether Motegi becomes coronation or continuation depends less on headlines and more on the small, session-by-session decisions both riders and their teams make. Motegi is more than another round for Miller. It's the place of his most recent win and a venue that suits his style. He underlined the emotional link with Japan after recent visits to Yamaha Motor Company in Iwata and public appearances in Tokyo, where he felt strong support from local fans. "I'm thrilled to be back at Motegi. It's extremely special for me since this is where I took my last victory." Miller's statement. That connection matters as he prepares for his first Motegi race wearing Yamaha colors. This year's GP is particularly important for Yamaha, and for Pramac Yamaha, who make their first appearance at Motegi as Yamaha's official satellite team after switching from Ducati. Team director Gino Borsoi flagged the mixed characteristics of the circuit: heavy braking zones that suit the YZR-M1, but also long restarts where the bike can be vulnerable. "Hard braking plays to the M1's strengths. Restarts will be where we struggle," Borsoi said. Expect the team to attack Motegi with setup compromises that maximize braking stability without losing too much on acceleration. Miller's recent off-track engagements reinforced the bond with Yamaha staff and Japanese motorsport culture, a boost after his Suzuka 8 Hours podium and visits to Yamaha HQ. "The reception," he says, "has been incredible, and a key motivator heading into race weekend. Racing for a Japanese manufacturer here makes it even more special," Miguel Oliveira stated. That goodwill and factory backing could pay dividends on track in confidence and preparation. Pramac arrive aware of both opportunity and limits. Incremental improvements have raised competitiveness, but the M1 still has areas to work on. Miller, soon to be a full-time Yamaha rider, and the team hope Motegi's braking-focused layout can spotlight recent gains, while accepting the acceleration/restart weaknesses that require further development. For Miller and Pramac, Motegi is both a celebration of the past and a test of progress toward the future. Jack Miller's Motegi weekend is neatly symbolic: a return to the scene of his last MotoGP win, a public embrace with Yamaha and its fans, and a stepping stone toward his 2026 ride. If the combination of passion, Yamaha support, and a braking-friendly track comes together, Miller will be one to watch this weekend. Márquez admits the mid-season of 2023 was a low point. The market closed around him and seats vanished. He feared a year out or a move to a lesser series. Then Gresini stepped in. The team owner Nadia Padovani offered him a lifeline when few others would. "If it hadn't been for Nadia, I might have gone home for a year. She gave me the chance to keep fighting," Alex Marquez said. That single act of faith changed the arc of his career and kept him in the championship ladder. Padovani's decision wasn't a cold commercial call, it was personal. Alex describes Gresini as family rather than just a team, praising Nadia's hands-on involvement and the trust she placed in him when others hesitated. Small teams taking big risks are part of MotoGP lore. This one simply paid off spectacularly. The Gresini move allowed Alex to rebuild confidence and performance. From uncertain free agent to 2 wins and consistent podiums in 2025, his revival has been marked by steady progress and renewed self-belief. "Joining Gresini taught me why this team works so well. It's about family and belief." The turnaround underlines how the right environment can unlock a rider's potential. Sharing a paddock with Marc has its pressures. Alex says his brother's presence is like a tsunami. When Marc walks into the garage, an aura that can reshape expectations, but also a source of support and honest feedback. "Marc helped me decide to keep going. Having him around made a difference." Sibling dynamic adds both intensity and a unique competitive edge to Alex's development. Alex is candid about opportunities opening if he keeps performing, yet he insists on loyalty to Gresini. He won't negotiate elsewhere while the team continues to back him, even as the market eyes his resurgence for 2027. That commitment reflects a gratitude that goes beyond contracts. It's repayment for a career saved. Alex Marquez's revival is as much human story as sporting one. Nadia Padovani's gamble gave him a platform. Gresini's family environment let him rebuild, and the complex brotherhood with Marc has sharpened him. From near exit to title contender, Alex's recent trajectory shows how single acts of faith and the right team can rewrite a rider's destiny. Yamaha has one foot in the present, one in the future. The Inline 4, a cornerstone of its MotoGP identity, is in its final races, while the V4 project made its race debut at Misano with test rider Fernandez. The plan is for another V4 outing in Malaysia, even as 2025 still has 6 rounds left. We are heading into the important overseas leg of the season, a significant stage to book progress with an eye on 2026. Yamaha's public admission is clear, results still matter, but the bigger story is the transition to a new era of machinery. Motegi is always a symbolic race for Yamaha. The factory staff attend in force, and the fans create an electric atmosphere. Despite development priorities shifting, the team insists it will fight hard in front of its home crowd. Japan is the perfect place to underline Yamaha's fighting spirit. The team will give it their best effort to put on a good show for the fans. Pride, heritage, and corporate presence make Motegi more than just another race. It's Yamaha's stage to show resilience, even in transition. Fabio Quartararo knows the Inline 4 is living on borrowed time, but refuses to treat Motegi as a placeholder. For the Frenchman, the home support adds fuel. Racing in Japan is always something unique. Our team feels extra motivation in Motegi, so we will give it our 100%. Hopefully we can have a good Friday straight away. I'm ready to give my maximum, Quartararo said. Quartararo's language is telling, full focus on the weekend, no distractions, even if his bike's days are numbered. Teammate Alex Rins echoed the same theme. For him, the presence of Yamaha's engineers and executives creates an atmosphere of accountability and drive. The Japanese GP is very important for us. This round is Yamaha's home race, so we know all the engineers and staff will be paying close attention. The fans in Japan are incredible, and their support gives us extra motivation to push. Rins frames Motegi as both a sporting and corporate performance, proof that rider morale is directly tied to Yamaha's local culture. The context is unusual. The Inline 4 engine has little relevance for the future, yet riders must still extract results on it. With the V4 waiting in the wings, the 2025 Yamaha project risks being remembered as a transitional footnote. That doesn't diminish the rider's will, but it does shift how each performance will be judged. Wins or podiums here are morale boosters, not technical benchmarks. Yamaha's 2025 Asian Tour begins with a paradox. A factory racing for pride in the short term, while already setting its compass for 2026. At Motegi, the motivation of home fans and engineers gives Quartararo and Rins reasons to push, even as the real future lies in a V4 that has only just taken its first breaths. The Japanese GP, then, is both a farewell to an era and a preview of what's to come. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!